You're very welcome to the Craic Rambles podcast. I'm your host, Craic Boy Mental, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about whether or not the left can meme. You know, as someone who's been a left-wing content creator for, could we say 6 to 7 years now, I'm constantly seeing in my comments, the left can't meme, the left can't do comedy. And as somebody that takes pride in his work, that's very hurtful. So today I thought we would analyse whether there's any truth to the notion that the left aren't funny, the left can't meme. Or, you know, when you're doing activism, is there space for comedy? Because that's the other side of the argument as well. You know, you not only have right-wingers telling you that the left isn't funny, but you have other leftists who will tell you, you can't do comedy. You can't make comedy out of activism, you know. But I would say that those kind of people, they don't want any art. They don't want music. They don't want comedy. They seem to just want a joyless experience. Because, in my opinion, right, not everything you see in a movie or music or comedy has to be, you know, the perfect mirror image of how you view the world. Like it doesn't always have to be catered towards you, whether you're on the right or the left. I do believe that, you know, the ugly sides of life, the ugly sides of society do belong in art and entertainment, because I think they are an accurate portrayal of how the world is. And to just, you know, take all of that out and take out a character because you think, oh, he's a little bit transphobic, or, oh, you know, He in real life, he might have, you know, a right-wing cousin. I don't really think that that's the right way to go about things. I think when I'm watching movies or when I'm watching or taking in entertainment, I want to see an accurate portrayal of the world outside of entertainment, not just some made-up world to cater to certain chronically online people, or to cater to the right-wing, very dim worldview. But let's talk about how people consume comedy as a whole nowadays. Like, the reality is most people, when they're watching a comedian, what they want to get from that comedian is they want their own opinions and biases to be confirmed and validated by that comedian. You see it with someone like Ricky Gervais, who before was kind of left-wing, but then he saw that like a lot of right-wing comedians were making waves, you know, all doing the same tour. Triggered, that was the title of all their tours. And he saw, oh, that's where the market's heading. So Ricky Gervais got on the transphobia train. And the thing with Ricky Gervais is I like some of his comedy. I like Derek, you know, which, you know, with my activism cap on, I would call him out for, pretending to be an autistic person. But with my comedy cap on, I would say that was quite an enjoyable show. But that comedy show he did, where he was just being transphobic, was pure garbage. And the only reason it was successful is because he was validating right-wingers' opinions on trans people. He was validating their bigotry and hatred. So that's something that a lot of creators have caught on to, is that, if you're not that good at art, or if you've fallen off in the art, you know, just go do the old-fashioned thing of spreading hate. You know, that works for a lot of people in entertainment today. But as far as left being funny, because that's right, I don't think the right is funny, by the way. So if you do think that left comedy is just, you know, dry and shite and cares too much about people's feelings, just know that I also think that the right-wing comedy is shite. Like, I feel like as well, if I was right-wing, I would have so much more material to work with. Like, there's so many people you could hate on, so many people you could mock. And, like, the fact that the attack helicopter joke is, like, the best joke that the right-wing have. It's, like, the only joke that they have towards trans people. That and Ricky Gervais' joke of, trans people got dick. You know, like, those are, like, your two jokes as a right-wing. Like, you're you're not really pushing the boundaries creatively. Like, I don't know, do right wingers not even believe in creativity? Is that kind of like them taking a powerful stance of like, no, fuck liberation, fuck creativity. We're going to come with the same two bog standard jokes for, 50,000 years. Like, is it a right wing thing to be anti-creative when you're doing right wing comedy? I don't know, but yeah, that's how I feel. Right wing comedy is shite. I mean, I will admit, right? There are certain like things I would call centrist comedy, like say a South Park, Now I would say that I think one in every 3 South Park episodes is good. I think like, that you'd watch one very good one that you'd find funny, and then you'd watch 2 that's kind of like, this is just shite or tasteless. But when they get it right, they really do get it right, I think I must be fundamentally broken, because my favourite South Park episode ever is the ziplining episode. I don't know why. Maybe it's because if you look kind of US comedy versus Irish and UK comedy, US comedy is very kind of like in your face, like, oh my God, Billy just dropped a slur, where, Irish and English comedy is very situationship, like the aforementioned Derek or The Afterlife or The Office or other shows that Ricky Gervais has made, whereas the US is more like, oh my God, Dean just put a fucking firework up his ass, oh my God, bro. Like, that's kind of American comedy. It's very crude, very blunt, and sometimes it works, oftentimes it doesn't, and sometimes the situationship of Irish and UK comedy or kind of TV shows doesn't work, because they become too dreary, or they become too sappy and start loving itself too much, to the point where all comedy that the show originally had is gone. So yeah, South Park is a show that I would consider centrist. I know a lot of like leftists would be like, no, South Park is a left-wing show. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are left. No, they're nihilists, which, by the way, nihilism is like the easiest political stance you can take as a white guy in America, or as a white Jewish guy in America. Like, that's the easiest thing, to just be like, oh, everything's fucked. Like, yeah, I'm a white privileged guy in America, but who cares? Everything's just fucked. I'm not going to call out anything, because it just doesn't bother me, and pretending to care about either side is just, I don't know, a bit of an inconvenience. So that's what South Park is. It's a nihilistic show. Yes, it takes apart both sides, but I would argue, considering who makes it, it's probably a little bit problematic. But then again, that's my activism cap on. With my comedy cap on, I can say, yeah, it's actually a fairly solid show. As I said, 1 in 3 episodes are good. But yeah, like, as I said, the difference between US and British comedy is often, I find, when US people see a lot of my work, and they see a lot of, like, because Irish, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of Irish comedy. Like, even shows like Father Ted is like the Friends of Ireland to me. Friends, the US show. Complete fucking boring. It's a show for co-workers and normies, and I'm not a co-worker or normie, but I'm also not so chronically online that I'm into Rick and Morty or one of those shows. But I'm kind of in that sweet spot where I'm into, what's a kind of like show that I'm into, Family Guy in South Park. I like Family Guy in South Park, okay? I'm not a normie, but a normal person, not chronically online. But yeah, I think like there is a big difference between